Tom Bradley moves to a quiet coastal town in Maine after his wife Margaret passes away. One evening, he notices a strange beam of light sweeping across the bay, cutting through the fog like a ghostly finger. He checks his maps, asks neighbours, searches online. There's no lighthouse on those cliffs. The light appears again the next night, and the next. Tom begins filming it, convinced he's discovered something extraordinary. Then experts trace the source. The coastal towns of Maine have a way of holding on to their secrets. Fog rolls in without warning, and the ocean keeps its own counsel. For Tom Bradley, one small town along this rugged shoreline became a place where memory, mystery, and meaning would collide in ways he never imagined. Tom had spent 35 years as a mechanical engineer in Boston, a man who trusted logic, who believed every problem had a solution if you looked hard enough. He had built a good life there with his wife Margaret. They had shared decades of quiet companionship, the kind that doesn't need many words. When Margaret passed away, the city became unbearable. Every corner held a memory. The noise felt hollow now, like sounds echoing in an empty room. Tom knew he couldn't stay. He sold their apartment and drove north until the roads narrowed and the air turned salty. He found a house on a hill overlooking a quiet bay, an old place with creaky floors and windows that rattled in the wind. It needed work. That was exactly what Tom wanted. He needed something to fix while his heart learned how to heal. For the first few weeks, Tom threw himself into repairs. He replaced rotting boards, patched the roof, painted walls. It was easier than sitting still, easier than thinking. But one evening, as fog crept across the water, Tom noticed something unusual. A beam of light swept slowly across the bay. It cut through the mist like a pale finger, rotating in a steady arc before fading into darkness. Tom squinted toward the distant cliffs. There was nothing there, no tower, no structure, nothing that could explain what he had just seen. When the light appeared again the next evening, moving in the same slow arc, Tom's curiosity stirred. He checked his maps, searched online, asked his neighbours about any lighthouse on those cliffs. No one had an answer. The light returned the following night, and the night after that. Tom began filming it. His engineering mind couldn't let the mystery rest. He analysed the footage, measured the rotation speed, calculated the distance to the source. Every logical explanation fell apart under scrutiny. He posted the videos online, and a small following grew. People offered theories, a secret military installation perhaps, or a rare atmospheric phenomenon. Tom reached out to local historians and contacted a meteorologist at a nearby university. A reporter even drove out to interview him. For the first time since Margaret's death, Tom felt alive again. Neighbours stopped by with coffee and questions. Children asked what he thought the light really was. He found himself smiling more, caring about something beyond his own grief. The mystery had given him purpose when he needed it most. Weeks passed. The meteorologist, Dr. Ellen Hayes, continued her analysis, studying the footage carefully and cross-referencing weather patterns and geographic surveys. Tom waited patiently, certain the answer would be extraordinary. Then one afternoon, Dr. Hayes returned with an expression Tom couldn't quite read. She looked embarrassed, almost apologetic. She explained that after tracing the light's origin, she had discovered something unexpected. The beam wasn't coming from the cliffs at all. It was coming from inside Tom's own house. She led him upstairs to his bedroom, where a window faced the bay at a precise angle. There, hanging near the ceiling fan, was something Tom had almost forgotten: an old disco ball. Margaret had installed it years ago as a joke for their anniversary. Tom had complained about it endlessly, but she refused to take it down. It made her laugh, she said. And Margaret's laugh had been one of Tom's favourite sounds. Dr. Hayes explained the rest. The neighbour had recently installed solar panels. At sunset, light reflected through Tom's window and struck the disco ball. The rotating ceiling fan caused it to spin slowly, projecting a beam across the bay like a ghostly lighthouse. Tom stood in silence. Then he laughed, a real laugh, the kind that comes from deep in the chest and doesn't stop until tears form. For the first time in over a year, Tom laughed until he couldn't breathe. The town didn't mock him. Instead, they embraced the absurdity. A local artist designed a poster for the Disco Ball Lighthouse Festival. The following summer, the town held its first celebration in Margaret's memory: dancing, spinning lights, and a ceremony where Tom spoke about the woman who always knew how to make him laugh. Tom never took the disco ball down. He polished it instead. What began as a mystery ended as a gift. Margaret had always joked that she wanted to leave a little light behind. Tom had smiled at those words without understanding them. Now he did. Sometimes the things we search for aren't hidden on distant cliffs or buried in unexplained phenomena. They're hanging right above us, waiting to be seen. Small reminders that love doesn't disappear. It just changes form. It becomes light. And if we're patient enough to look, it finds a way to reach us across the darkness.